Good day, everyone. Here is Joshua from Hamburg Prostar. You can call me Josh. Welcome to our new showroom. You can take a look at it. And today we're gonna talk about our EMT tubes and fittings. Today we're gonna talk about our common component commonly used by most of our electricians today, electric conduit and accessories. More especially, we want to discuss what electric conduit is and why it's so widely used in the electrical industry. We will also look at some of the different types of the electric conduits that are most commonly used in the industrial, commercial, and the residential application. Electrical conduit is simply a tube that is used for electrical wires to pass through to provide protections to both of the wires and the people who might be close to that wire running. It can be found in many different applications and also many different variations depending on the specific applications it being used to. Let's look at some our most common types of electric conduits and where you might see the type being used. First, let's look at the conduits that are made from metal. As they're probably the most used conduits we see today, rigid metal conduits, or IMC is a very thick-walled type of conduit, commonly steel that has been galvanized. This is considered one of the most durable and rugged types of electrical conduit that is used today and is very common in industrial applications. In most cases, you are needed to cut and thread this type of conduit, which can require some special equipment. Another very common type of metal conduit is electrical metallic tubing, or EMT. EMT is a much less expensive option in comparison to IMC. EMT is a much more thin-walled conduit, not providing as much protection as rigid. It also might lighter and easier to work with, but it does not provide the same amount of protection. In most cases, EMT will not need to thread it as it can be used with various different types of connections and fittings, which can make it very versatile. EMT is also very common in industrial applications, but is better suited for commercial applications. EMT is generally made of coated steel. There is another type of metal conduits, intermediated metal conduits. We call it IMC, but they are not as common in most applications. For EMT, we have two different types. One is pre-galvanized and the other is hot dip galvanized. And all sizes could be varies from 2.5 to 4 inches. For the pre-galvanized conduits, there are two dimensions. One is standard thickness, the other is single wall thickness. If you have other requirements, feel free to contact us. For hot dip galvanized conduits, we have UL certificates to support you. More information you could check on UL website. If you need bender pipe, we could simply supply conduit benders in aluminum and ductile iron type. Next, we will show you how to bend the pipe. First, select the correct bender. Make sure your bender is designed for EMT conduit of the size you are using. Then, measure the desired length of the stub. The stub-up bend is 90 degrees bend near the end of the conduit. Measure of the distance on the wall from the end of the conduit to the position of the bend. Subtract the take-up height. The radius of the bender will add extra length to the bend of the conduit. Take this into account by subtracting a certain amount from your measurement. Next step, find the arrow mark on your bender to these measurements. Place your conduit on the floor. Measure from the end of the conduit to the new length you calculated, and mark the conduit at this point. Line the arrow symbol on your bender up so it points to this mark. Slot your bender onto the conduit. Make sure the bender handle is angled toward the end of your measured frame. And then, press down on foot pedal to bend the conduit. Your foot should provide most of it, not all of the pressure. Without pulling, use one hand to steady the handle on your bender and the other to steady the conduit. Once it rises with reach, apply firm, constant foot pressure as a pause could create a kink in your conduit. Bend until the end of the conduit is vertical, or very slightly past vertical. Finally, confirm the bend with the spirit level. Attach a level to the vertical length of the conduit. If necessary, make small adjustments to the bend until the bubble of the level is centered. The conduit will flex back slightly after you remove the bender, so bending slightly too far will provide the best results. Besides that, we also have elbows in pre-galvanized and hotly galvanized, from 45 degrees to 90 degrees for you to choose. Well, about the marking of tubing, please have a look at the samples. We could print in blue and black color. Also, we could engrave words on conduits if required. About packaging, we have one half inch, for example. Usually, we pack 20 pieces together in a small bundle, then 40 pieces in a big bundle with a plastic bag or metal strap. Also, we could provide a lifting rod for you to unload it. And we will print all the numbers, packing quantity, and sizes on the packaging to distinguish. So how to keep the conduits? Galvanized conduits and fittings should be stored in dry conditions to prevent rust. Now we're going to move to EMT fittings. The connectors here is a set of screw connectors, and well, it gets the name from is that there's a screw here, which you could use a screwdriver to set the screw in, so that it tightly fits against the EMT tubes. And we have 3 of them on the table. One is zinc die cast, the other is steel, and the last one is insulated strip type. The difference is just a piece of plastic on the side which protects the electrical wire. They are in sizes from ½ inch to 4 inches. And this one is aluminum, which only have 2 inches. The next connector is compression connector. We have zinc as well as steel. The difference with set screw type, you could notice that it comes with lock nuts, so slide on conduit and tighten with the channel locks. So it's labor saving. It's no need to screwdriver to tighten it. So you don't need to spend a lot of time on connecting. And the compression fittings is used because it has a tighter hold and it's good in dry locations as well as damp locations. But it's not suitable for wet. If you need to put it outside, you have to choose rain tight type. And these are EMT couplings used to couple 2 ends of EMT pipe and in same materials with connectors. Now, let me show you how to use the static screw coupling. So we have 2 pieces of conduits here, and I would use it to join it. And slide it on the slide, the other raceway in, and tighten the coupling. It is important to make sure you tighten down very well when you failed, because that's the grounding connection. So as you see, the EMT coupling is used to join the raceways together, extended. Next is our EMT compression coupling. As said before, that we do not need to remove the end. We just have to loosen it and then slide the raceway in. But now, when we go ahead to tighten with your channel lock and then put the other side, place the raceway in, loosen it, and you will take the tightening by hand at first, and then use the channel lock to securely fasten it. Making sure to tighten it all the way is very important. Okay, next on the table are other EMT fittings in the same function, just in different structure, like this capped corner coupling, pull corner elbow, or connects EMT to EMT, which is used to change direction, like the pulling elbow. Here you have a cover that you can remove, which allows you to pull the wires through one end and put them through another. And this one is a combination coupling, means that you have 2 different raceways that you can join together. So you can see this coupling. One end is connected with EMT and the other end is used for flexible conduits. We have an EMT offset connector. As you see the angle there, there's a great feelings because when you are running and installing new conduit, sometimes it's really tight to put in an offset. So this particular connector is a labor saver and work for short conduits. This one is service entrance tube, which used in indoor or outdoor, and they go on the power pole that is attached to the building, and they distribute the electrical service wire so that the building can be energized. The item just slide right onto the EMT, and there are two screws that clamps on the pipe. That's removable by losing a set screw on both sides of the head. You remove this, and you can put your wires through the pipe and hand them out one of the lockout. Once the wires are distributed and the head was put in the proper direction, you simply tighten the bolts on either side of the pipe, and it provides a secure clamping action. The range in size from ½ inches all the way up to 2 inches. Be free to contact us for any questions. And here are our EMT straps and their strap clamps. So the first one here is one hole EMT strap. If you take a look at it, it's one hole because of the fact that it's got one hole for supporting with a screw. So you can drive one screw into the wall or into the structure. They are going to be secured this way, and they come in sizes from ½ inches to 4 inches. Next one is EMT 2-hole strap. So depending upon installation requirements, depending upon if it's outside in an area that is subject to wind or maybe a little bit more traffic, you might want to go for 2-hole strap just for better security to the wall, with support to the wall. And then we are going to introduce rigid metal conduit and fittings. So all these parts that you see here on the table, we use to put together a full rigid conduit system. First one is the rigid metal conduit. It's a raceway and it has sizes from ½ to 6 inch, and all in how to be organized. UL can be provided if needed. Now we take a look here. Is 90-degree rigid conduit elbow, which is used for changing direction with rigid metal conduit. These are necessities out in the field. When you are not doing field bending, they come in handy. The next thing I'd like to discuss is the rigid coupling. When building a raceway, we have to join two lengths of the conduit together. Then you could use it. Next is the 3-piece rigid coupling, which is made of a mono iron. If you do not have the ability to tighten it, that's where the 3 pieces come in, because you can tighten the coupling from 2 points. Then we're gonna move to rigid set screw connector, coupling, rigid compression connector, and the couplings. Sizes are from ½ to 2 inches. Next, we have watertight hub, which is used for outside installations in the rain and wet conditions. So once again, the unique about it is it has an insulated throat and a watertight gasket. It is used for rigid metal conduit, and with grounding is available. By the way, we also have manual iron types as well. In situations when raceway needed to be reduced in size, we have fittings that can help with it. We start reducing bushing, which will allow you to decrease the raceway. Opening from 3/4 it may be down to ½ inch. Next fittings, I'd like to talk about the fittings that are used to secure raceway. 2 panels, boxes, and that's your lock nut. So here we have 2 kinds of lock nuts. The first lock nut here being made of zinc, which is used to secure onto the threads of the raceway and to be tightened down to the enclosure that you are entering. And in other is the seal. Once your wristway is secured with the magnet that we spoke about, the next thing is to install with will be 等一下 The next thing to install will be bushings. So there is different types of bushings out there. We have a standard zinc die-cast bushing. We have non-insulated, blue insulated, black insulated for your shoes. Also, we have plastic bushing that will be put on there when there is new bonding needed. You then have the metal iron bushing with grounding, which is used to secure on the end of the raceway. But it provides a lot for your bonding jumper or your running jumper. Now we have to secure your raceway using different straps and sports. So you have 1 hole and 2 hole strap, which sizes goes from ½ inches to 4 inches, and a rigid strap clamp and a conduit hanger for you to choose. Finally, there are other rigid tube fittings on the table, such as pull corner elbow, connector ridge to ridge, rigid male enlarger, rigid nipple, conduit nipple, rigid unit male and female connector, threaded type of service entrance cap. Please contact us if you have any other interests. Okay, EMT and the rigid fittings are here. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.